This is a story about a man with ambition that decided to quit his full-time job to pursue all of his dreams. You see, for 1 year, I had saved over $40,000. I decided to invest all of it into pursuing my dreams of entrepreneurship. I read all the books, I journaled every day, I hit the gym consistently. I even grew an audience on my YouTube channel up to 17,000 subscribers. But I made one mistake and failed to realize that it takes way more than a year. You see, I've done both sides. I've worked a 9 to 5 that afforded me such a comfortable lifestyle. And that was great in everything because I got to live the way I wanted to. But I had this crippling feeling inside of me saying, oh, is that it? Is that all you want to amount to? And then I've also quit that to pursue these dreams of entrepreneurship. And that was great because I got to develop all these great habits, but the feeling was just as bad, if not worse, because I had to face my own imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and these demons that are just so hard to face on your own. So chasing your dreams is not as pretty as people make it seem to be. And in this video, I actually want to contrast both worlds. And at the end of this video, I want to share valuable lessons that I've learned so that you can take into your own life with a new perspective and a new approach to how you can actually apply them chasing your dreams. So the first point I have is that both sides of the coin are no better than the other. So let's first explore why we hate our jobs. There's this quote that goes, we sacrifice our health to make money, and then we restore our health by sacrificing money. And this was exactly the case with me. So this is gonna seem very random, but there's this concept in the Western society where your identity is so tied into your job. So people introduce themselves as like firefighters, doctors, teachers, because during the Protestant Reformation, Martin Luther introduced this concept that you have this God-given purpose and doing it through your work will bring you closer to God. And this sparked a whole cultural change in society where everyone found meaning through their jobs. Americans actually identify with their jobs so much to the point that if you were to take away their jobs from them, they would actually have an identity crisis. And this is what happened with me. I was known as the hotel guy in my community. Everyone knew me as the hospitality guru. So if our identities are so tied to our job titles, why are we so miserable? In The Pathless Path, this author argues that there's 4 reasons why. Number 1, that work rarely actually aligns with your values and passions. And even if you are passionate about work, you lose that passion over time when you work. Number 3, you have to play this political game at work to climb the ladder to please others. And 4, most people get sick and tired of work that they end up escaping and numbing activities like watching TV. And this is actually why people gamble, why they do excessive shopping, why people actually overuse drugs and alcohol. I actually really understand the person who's addicted and escapes because it's way easier to escape than to have to face your demons. So this unauthentic self that comes out, this is known as your false self. And this was introduced by a psychoanalyst named Winnicott. And this happens when you go too much into the societal expectations of who you're supposed to be rather than the true values that you want to live for in your life. So because you actually associate yourself with your job title so much, it kind of goes away from your values because you're trying to be this whole other identity that is not you. And this is what pushes you to this numbing activity, to this self-sabotaging behavior. The perfect movie that describes this is American Psycho. It shows a regular average guy going to his blue-collar job, and he gets pushed so much towards his false self that he actually ends up becoming a psychopath, killing people on his free time.
Because I want to fit in.
Now, obviously, it's not the extreme case with us, but this is why we go into drugs and alcohol and all these different things because we just can't take it anymore. We're pulling too much on that false self. Okay, so how do we actually rebirth our true self? There's this process called the Dark Night of the Soul, and this is a very, very scary process. If you ever watched The Last Airbender, this is like Zuko's metamorphosis when he goes from evil to good. And the Dark Night of the Soul is so freaking bad, man, that people actually end their lives over it. And I would know the Dark Night of the Soul very, very well because I've set up camp there for so long. I have a fire here. I know exactly what it feels like. And the only way through it is what these experts say is just to go through it. So this is why all my videos are about persevering, taking one step forward, because I know it very well. I know how shitty it is to face your demons. And the reason the feelings are so uncomfortable during the Dark Night of the Soul is because you're forced to revisit your true values and give up this false self that you are so tied to your whole life. So when you think about quitting, I want you to know something. The moment that you feel the most exhausted, that is where the real work is done. That is where you're introduced to your true self. I once ran a whole ass half marathon at 1 a.m. and my muscles begged me to stop. The test of the mind doesn't respond to when times are easy, it responds when the times are tough. Everyone wants to be the guy that faces obstacles. The obstacle stands in the way. Let me be the resilient one. Let me be the leader in front of everyone that's strong and a rock. But when the obstacle actually comes, how many of us actually go through it? How many of us actually want to go through it? It's the shittiest thing, bro. It's the shittiest thing to go through that. Your body will convince you it's at its limit many, many times, but only you get to decide what your limit is. The author of The Pathless Path calls this the post-traumatic growth, where you go through the dark night of the soul. It's as shitty as it gets, but the only thing you can do is grow from this and go through it because there's no other choice. So now that we know why we hate our jobs so much and why chasing your dreams is not any better, what's the solution? I came up with this thing called the Creativity Protocol, and it's something to deal with doubt and bring meaning into your life. So consider where you are right now. Some of you might be working a 9 to 5, some of you might have quit your jobs to pursue your dreams full time, and some of you might be on a hybrid path of both, which is actually the path I'm about to head on right now. I want you to think of a 4-month time frame where you can bring meaning into your life. So if you're working a 9 to 5 and you feel like you're really unhealthy, you want to get in shape, for the next 4 months, you're only allowed to consume health, nutrition, and fitness content. You dive into that world and you do whatever it takes to get healthy, get to your 14, 12% body fat, whatever it is. And during that 4-month period, you're gonna have many doubts, okay? No matter what path you're on, the point is any protocol will have a lot of doubt. But this creativity protocol, no matter what doubt you have to continue through it until the end of the 4 months. You might be on this health path and you might plateau. You might tell yourself, oh, you know, I wish I can go out with my friends. I wish I can go on more adventure. You know what? Great. If you want to go on more adventure, you can't do it now, but in the next 4-month protocol, that's what you're gonna do. And this is what I did for 1 year. The first protocol I did was the Andrew Huberman one. I did all the good shit for my health. After that, I did the YouTube Coaching Academy with Captain Sinbad. That was my next protocol. After that, I did a 2-month protocol with Anatoly's powerlifting program. And now I'm on a Jeff Nippard hypertrophy program. So that actually all amounts to 1 year of chasing my dreams. And in all those 4 protocols, I actually learned valuable lessons that I can actually add on and reflect to. So do your 4-month protocol, reflect on it. What did you learn? And then come up with another 4-month protocol. By the end of the year, you've acquired all these amazing skills that you've added to your arsenal. And now you get to decide what path to head into. So my point is, the whole point of this video is that no matter where you go, no matter what path you're on, you're gonna feel doubt. So the only way out of this is to follow one creativity protocol at a time, where you just bring one aspect of meaning into your life, and that's that. If you're completely lost and you don't know where to start or what meaning to bring into your life, I actually have a monthly group coaching session where I have a private, Slack community, and me and these 4 guys begin to call 1 hour a week. And just for $20 a month, you get accountability and you get to lay out your thoughts to everyone and get more clarity on what to actually do. So if you're completely lost and you want something to start, then I would highly recommend joining that. But if you know what you want, and you probably do because you've probably ignored a lot of things in your past or in your childhood that you love to do, like maybe playing the piano or like playing a sport that you want to revisit, make a 4-month protocol around whatever it is, and that is your next creativity meaning to go on for the rest of your year. So I hope this video actually taught you that you don't have to go through one extreme to the other. Things are never black or white, but more gray. So that is my perspective. I hope you can add that to your approach to your life. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.